The house that was pale peach was black, white, and red. Everything, pictures on the wall, furniture, stuff. I'd never seen that before. In one day, a transformed house.
Well, welcome to Hollywood. Oh, we'll be right back after this message. We're back. We are talking with Barbara Walters, whose special airs tomorrow night. What are some of the, well, I guess the way to say the highest and the lowest rated, but are the ones you think that are going to be the biggest? Have you ever been surprised that...
Well, when we began, the first year that we began, we tried to mix it. We had political people as well as, you know, the show business superstars. The first show, we had Barbra Streisand and President-elect and Mrs. Carter. That's how long it was. And then we had King Hussein, and the Shah of Iran, and we would mix them up with, I don't know, Bing Crosby. And we found we had somewhat the similar experience, I guess, that you and Johnny would have, which is that at that time of the night, people wanted to be entertained. They didn't want to see politicians. So little by little, we would do more and more superstars. And I mean, when the rating went down, the lowest one night was when we had Walter Matthau, I remember, Donnie and Marie Osmond, Reggie Jackson, and Vice President Walter Mondale. And it went, kind of like an election.
Yeah.
The time, I guess, that I liked the show the most was when we did an hour with Fidel Castro. We crossed the Bay of Pigs with him. We were the first Americans to have crossed the Bay of Pigs since the invasion. We went around the Sierra Madre Mountains with him. We did an hour special. We did a 6.5-hour interview with him. We didn't obviously run it. And we thought it was very important. We came in last in the ratings. We were killed by an episode of Barnaby Jones. So we didn't do him again.
Yeah,
some people we've done 2 or 3 times, but not Fidel Castro.
See, here in the Tonight Show, they like to put a comedian between Hussein and the Shah. Just to bring...
We like that too. Richard Pryor, the Shah of Iran, and King Hussein, right?
Now, I've read, at least I remember reading something, or a TV guide, that some of the highest rated shows were not necessarily show business or political. I don't think, well, Donna Rice. Now, that was a big show that Donna Rice.
That was 2020. What I have done now is to sort of divide my life so that I do the primarily the show business superstars or music superstars and so forth, and then the political and other. I don't know what you. Well, Donna Rice, I guess, would fall into political.
Probably other, I guess. Let's be polite and say other.
It sometimes depresses me that, for example, in the last year we've done George Bush and Jesse Jackson and Ed Meese and Donna Rice and Mike Tyson, and I will go down in history for having done Donna Rice and Mike Tyson, the 2 highest ratings we've ever had on 2020.
Was that an odd situation?
They went on together, Donna Rice.
No. That would be a big show. Yeah, you do that for the 100th anniversary. Was that odd doing the Tyson-Gibbons thing? I mean, when you were talking, did you feel like, I don't think this is going to work here?
Truthfully, I felt, I sort of thought, does she know what she's saying? So much so that it was the first time that I've done an interview where I talked to the audience. I remember saying, as she was saying, you know, he's a manic depressive, he chases after me, he shakes me, he gets violent, and he's sitting there rubbing the back of her neck. And I said to the audience, look at this. I think first of all, I don't think that our interview was responsible for their breakup.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think that they were so unbelievably ill-matched, and you felt it that day. And each one, the mother-in-law, Tyson, Robin Givens, each one felt they were telling the truth. She thought that he was coming off as a terrible guy because he'd punched some guy at, 4 a.m. and because he had cracked up his car. So she thought that if she explained to people that he was a manic depressive, people would feel, and I'm serious, people would feel he's a nice guy, he's just sick, he has these few little problems.
Right.
What happened was that she came off so terrible, she hadn't meant to, and that he looked as if he were drugged, because I think he was sitting there as the rest of us were saying, is this what she was going to say? It was very weird.
Well, I never liked those dating services. I think they're bad. They never match people up right anyway.
Yeah, and especially when the mother-in-law comes along.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's another whole story, that one there. Now, you live in New York, or you live...
I have what is called a bi-coastal.
Yeah, bi-coastal is one of those annoying words.
Right,
it does sound like there's some sex problem there. You're bi-coastal. Her husband is bi-coastal.
No, my husband's just fine, thanks.
Does he stay here while you're in New York, or do you...
We try... Well, he's from California. I mean, he really is one of the few people who was born in California, and he loves it. Every time time I
Thank
see
you
your
very
audience,
much.
I'm always amazed that it goes way, way up to the top. It's wonderful to see so many people.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like
I'm not
watching the
used to
food
that.
chain as you go near the top.
Anyway, we have he had a house here, so it's now our house. I have to stop saying his house here and my house now. And we try not to be separated for more than 10 days, because if you are, then you get, what's new, honey? I don't know, nothing much. What's new with you? Nothing much. And, so either he goes there or I come here. This was a wonderful excuse to be here. This was because of...
Well, thank you. But see, don't you find it easier? Doesn't it keep your head better if you say, well, this is his house and this is my house? Because you have your... Like my wife. My wife has things that she does. And
Your
I
wife
have
has her
things
own
that I do.
house? And you
No, she doesn't have her own house, but she likes to keep her own checking account and do all the things, and that's her money, and this is...
Yeah, in that sense it does. But I think that I am such a New Yorker. I mean, even though I've told you I was born and grew up in Boston, I am such a New Yorker. He is such a Californian. He is a great athlete. Somebody asked me, we were in Aspen, and somebody said, we just came back there, and someone said, and how was your skiing? And the adorable girl who was our coordinating producer went, because she knows that, I don't ski, I don't play tennis, I don't play golf, I don't know, all I can do is type, I guess. And we're very different, and yet maybe that's why it works, and maybe the separations make it.
There's a screenplay there. I don't know
if I only knew the title.
Yeah.
It's called Caucasian and Dangerous.
Well, listen, now you have to go now. I know that. And I appreciate you stopping by here. It really is a thrill, and it's certainly an honor to meet you. And good luck with your special tomorrow night, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for letting me come on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back after this minute. You got a sound of that, Jay?